up and seeing these photos, I think it makes it pretty clear that this is permanent. And I don't think it's going to be easy to come back from that.
It's time for Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky to confront the hot blonde elephant in the room after his little airport PDA photos brought her ideas of a quaint little separation down on their heads. And they're not the only exes having it out on this week's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Did you, at any point, want a divorce?
So let's get into it. Season 14, episode 15 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Trouble in Paradise. I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call. In between Erica showing off her home renovations for what feels like the 20th time this season, and Boza's daughter rightfully interrogating her boyfriend.
Would you guys want like multiple kids or just like one more?
I'm gonna take a sip of water right there.
This really was an episode about the exes, Kyle and Mauricio and Dorit and PK. Kyle is still reeling after Mo was photographed all over this other woman at the Mykonos airport, and she admits to Bose that despite their separation and Mauricio moving out, the airport photos changed things for her.
I feel like that changed things, the photo, to be honest.
The photo, woo!
Yeah.
It changed things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have a conversation with him, but I think that just gives me permission to move forward with what I need to do.
And so when Kyle and Mauricio meet up later in the episode for the first time since he returned from his romantic European getaway, things are awkward.
I only partied like 5 nights out of the 25 nights I've
Very
gone.
hard to believe.
After some rifling around in the cupboards and making small talk, though, they finally get into it.
You know, obviously the Mykonos, I got photographed, in the airport. You know that I would never want to do anything on purpose that would hurt you or the kids. I really am sorry for, hurting you. I would never want to hurt you on purpose.
Kyle says she believes him that he didn't try to pose for paparazzi photos, but that obviously it was still hard for her to see, despite them being separated. And it's an emotional moment.
The photos really did say to me, he's moving on. I think about, how did we get here? If we care about each other so much, how did we allow this to happen?
This whole situation, Kyle said, has made it pretty clear that their split is permanent, but they still haven't filed for divorce to date, so who knows what's going on there. Dorit and PK also had an emotional mid-separation chat during this week's episode, which comes about 3 months after they split and not too long after PK sent that scathing email. I know it's been a roller coaster, but the two did seem to put their claws away for this dinner. PK explained that he moved into the apartment Dorit hated without telling her because her control issues were a big issue for him in their marriage.
One of the significant issues in our marriage were your control issues. And there was me, separated, and less than a few weeks in, you're dictating where I'm going to live. And that's in the backdrop of me knowing that you're in our house. And I'm taking this really small apartment, which was, in my life, as humble as it's ever been.
And he gave his view on that long email.
Dorit, you really want to start discussing only part of that email?
No, I'm not
Or
finished.
do you, because it was a summary of how you've made me feel and what life will potentially look like if we don't resolve this. The reason I asked you to retain a lawyer was in an attempt to try and have a commercial, sensible conversation because we were not able to communicate.
These two might be more on the same page at the end of dinner, but I don't think there's any chance of them getting back together.
I believe that, unfortunately, this is what ends a marriage. I believe that rather than bringing out the best in me, you can bring out the worst in me.
But asked directly if they were heading towards divorce, PK kinda skirts the issue here.
What's next for us is our journey to become friends again, right? For me, that's what's next. If we sit here in 6 months' time and we say, do you know what, we've managed to do this, Dorit, we've got the kids sorted, we're best of friends, we're better not being married, then we'll not be married.
You are hard work, dude.
Agreed, Dorit. Finally, at the end of the episode, we get a little of the ladies' trip to St. Lucia, which looks stunning, but it's clearly popping off next week.
You pose as a friend and then oftentimes work as an enemy.
This is not gonna be set on trial at sea.
Okay, now you're being ridiculous.
What do you want from me? Seriously, what do you want from me?
and you know I can't wait to see it. Let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comment section, like and subscribe while you're there, then head over to popculture.com for the latest in entertainment news. Until next time, I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call.